Hi again. All right, during this installment, we're going to learn how to put the binding around the neck and make the ties for the back of the gown. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take your gown and you're going to put your shoulder seams together and then pull the front of the gown out so you can find the center point of the gown. Then put a pin there so you can find it again in a minute. Then you're going to take your 55-inch length of that tube that you made earlier. You're going to take it first off. You're going to make sure it's 55 inches long. Cut it to that length. Then you're going to take it and it's this wide. You're going to fold it in half and you're going to iron it. Then you'll have a crease down the middle that you can follow. So once it's ironed, you're going to fold it in half also. Find the middle point on it. And then you're going to match that middle point up with the middle point of the gown front. Then to put it on the gown, we're going to take the gown front here, and we're going to place it right up against that fold line and pull this down over and place a pin to keep it secure. I've already done this half. See, it'll be pinned on like that, and you'll have a piece hanging off the end. You'll do it all the way across the end. Just take your gown edge of the neck and put it all the way up to that fold the fabric over, put a pin in it, do that all along this edge, all the way to the end. Might want to be sure and put a pin right there where the shoulder seam is to keep it in place because it wants to slip out sometimes. Again, here we go, all the way to the end. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to have the edge of your neck. It's going to be tucked up inside that little piece of seam binding. And then you'll have these long pieces off the end that's going to be the ties. So in order to finish sewing this, we're going to zigzag this. So we're going to start on one end, placing all your fabric over on this side. So what it's going to look like is the open end is going to be that way toward, and then the fold side is going to be toward the back of your machine here. So just choose a zigzag stitch that is almost the width of the piece of fabric here, and not too terribly wide apart, but not real tight either. And you just zigzag down that piece, put those together. It's going to hold that tie together. And when you get up here, kind of keep your fabric out this way and flat. Come up one here. We're just going to sew right over. Going to continue zigzagging. And that binding, it will catch it in the back. And it'll catch that fabric that's inside and keep it in there. And just zigzag all the way across. You have to reposition your fabric a lot so you don't get too many tucks and puckers in it. Pull your pins out so you don't break a needle. Take your time, go slow. Make sure that that neckline stays up in that folded fabric. A lot of fabric in these things. especially when you get close to those shoulder seams. Make sure that that's staying up in there, but that the fabric's not too puckered or making big pleats up and under there. Just kind of smooth it out as best you can. Once you get over that seam, it'll flatten back out for you. Then you just zigzag right off. Let's see if I can move this other way so you can see better. All right, so you're gonna just zigzag right off, and you're just gonna keep pulling right down that long string that's bent in two, folded in two. You're just gonna zigzag it all the way down. Do a little backpack, lock it off, trim it, trim your... We didn't finish those edges, so the best thing to do is just tie a little knot in the edge of the fabric. That'll keep it from fraying when it's washed and worn. Just tie it real tight, like that, on both ends. Oops. I got my thread all caught up. Trim off your threads. Tie a knot in that end. Now go back and check your neckline. Make sure it caught it on both sides, which it should have, and that it's not slipping out somewhere. That's what it's going to look like on one side, and that's what it's going to look on the other side. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to have to lay this out flat on a table so that you can see where these shoulder things are. Usually there's a fold there. You can see the fold line from the sheet from when you folded it to cut it. That's pretty much your middle part. So you're going to measure down from the top of here. You're going to measure down 16 inches. Measure down 16 inches from the top of the neck down to the part down here. I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to go set it up over on my flat table so you can really see it better. So I'll be back in a minute.